Hi, she's Trixie, I'm Sarah, and this is our Yarn World, a place where we come to share our love for the yarn crafts and what joy it brings to us and what we hope that we can share with our joys with you. Today is episode 16. We are very excited that this is actually a continuation from last week. We've been having a whole bunch of like 2 weeks intermittent pauses when we're normally every week filmers.
Yeah, we want to get back on track and do it once a week again.
It's off-putting to me, actually. I've gotten used to my week and knowing that what day it is of the week just based off of our filming schedule.
Exactly.
And I'm like getting off kilter now.
Right.
If it doesn't happen. So I'm very excited. I'm very excited we're getting to this today. I got a haircut. I dyed my hair black this time, and I know it's not really behaving today just because it's been a couple of days, but because the first dyeing you generally have to wait about a week and a half before you actually like wash it. I have to put up with it, and my kids this morning have been rambunctious and I've been getting calls all day. So my hair's like this, and I will be snacking while filming because it's the first time I've been able to eat all day. So I hope you don't mind. Oh my goodness, I'm an alfalfa.
You're okay. It's alright.
Alright. Well, enough about me. What have you been working on?
Yeah. First I want to say I did finish the vest.
Yes.
The Mandela vest.
Yes.
But I'm
actually creating, I'm reading her pattern and making mine with her pattern, and I'm kind of like proofreading it and helping correct some of the
She's testing it for me.
Yeah.
And
I'm getting all the kinks out of it.
Yeah. We're trying to get it all so that it works out for you guys. Mm-hmm. But so while that's getting all tested and stuff, I'm working on, well, you might guess, another blanket. So my favorite stuff. Well, it's going to be called the Jazzy Parrot because Jazzy Parrot Afghan, because I'm using Red Heart Super Saver Parrot Stripe. It's a striped blanket yarn, and so that would be what this bottom part is, and
greens and blues.
Yeah,
and
so the parrots, but then I started adding the golds and colors that I had at home to fill in because I only had 5 of the parrots, and so this is the first 2, and so I started filling in, and I added some more parrots as I was going, and then up here, if you can see the variegated is Jazzy Stripe. Jazzy Stripe. And I only had 1 ball of that. So I thought, you know, I'm going to have to intermittently put it in. So I just found more colors in my stash that was going with it. And so I just keep adding the Jazzy in. And now I'm just adding colors as I go. I have 2 more balls. It's already rolled up that I'm going to use for the end of this blanket.
In the parrot?
Yeah, so that I can start and end
with that.
With the parrot. But the rest of them, I'm just trying to find colors that go together well with that original theme. Mm-hmm. So, and I think the gold goes pretty good.
It's it's complementary to this color
and I think Parrot does have the gold color in it.
Yeah, undertones.
So it's just probably up to my hip stomach area. Yeah. But I would like it to be a good size. It's 180 stitches across, and I'm doing half double crochet to do this because that's my favorite stitch, and I think it makes a nice blanket when you have a nice it doesn't have the
Sturdy
holes.
stitch, yeah.
It doesn't have the holes in it like other ones do. The other stitches do. And so I started out with 180, not thinking I should have started out with 181 so that I could go back and it would be 180. So it's 179 stitches across. But that's a good size to have. It's going to be a couch Afghan. For those days when you're just not feeling good, you want to lay on the couch, you want something to cover you. Those nights when your husband snores and you come out and you can't sleep and you just want to lay on the couch and just have a nice cozy blanket to cuddle up with.
You wouldn't have any sort of experience for that, right?
Oh my goodness, yes. But that's okay. Hey, you know, it happens to work out for me because I'm in menopause, so there's sleepless nights that come with that anyway, or I get too hot to sleep or whatever, so I cool off, then I'm going to want a blanket, then I'm going to want to throw the blanket off, then I'm going to want to warm up again. It's just, that's the season I'm in right now. Mm-hmm. So, what are you working on?
Well, I know that you didn't want to share your vest as you were making it. I'm not going to show the progress I've made. I just want to show the yarn in which you've given me to make this one.
Yeah.
And
Mandela is pretty.
Yes, the Lionheart, right?
I think so.
Lion Brand.
Lion Brand Mandela.
Yeah. But before I share those yarns, I have been working on a cardigan for myself, and it's not the one that I started off with in near Christmas time. So, during Christmas, my husband bought me a book. It was a Lionheart pattern book for cardigans. It was Lionheart Brand because they were using their yarn. And they were showing off different things in which you could make wearable tops, whether it be cardigans or shirts or whatever, sweaters, with their yarn in certain manipulations, right? And I'd started on a pattern. Well, I thought that I picked the right needle, and I literally read the pattern. It's not like I didn't see it. When I picked the needle, I legitimately thought I picked that right size, and I didn't.
Yeah.
And so I'm doing everything right for this pattern. I sized it up the same way that they told me to for my size. They told me, you know, I did everything. But I had picked the wrong needle, so it caused everything to be smaller. You know, it condenses as you go smaller. And I'm literally making something that's not going to end up working out to the size that I want it. Even though the yarn is beautiful, I'd have to rip everything out. And the crafter in me doesn't want to have wasted have accepted that I've wasted my time with this, so I'm probably gonna use that to either I'll finish it and just have to add length to the bottom of this or whatever I have to do to make it still turn out a wearable, but it will have to be something different than my original the original pattern I was following. You know, just adjust it. But because I loved that idea so much, it's pretty much the idea that you make this extremely long rectangle. And it's not a wide, it's not a wide rectangle in this way, but it's a long rectangle in that way. So it's very, very, almost like a bookmark, like that sort of a length. Okay. But you want it where it's like, you chain from where you want it to land on you. Pretty much give around your shoulders, around your neck, around there, and then have it hang. Generally, with cardigans, you want it to be around your hips, if not just past your hips. Right. So
maybe your thigh area.
Yeah. So you'd want to probably, if you wanted to do it, you probably chain from your knee straight around your neck to your knee where it's comfortable and there's some give.
Right.
And then you go from there on how much you want to do crochet up into it, but it's pretty much you crochet until it's like half of the width where it, like from the middle of your back to your core. Okay. And then based off of that, you have to sew it in a configuration that I'd have to explain to you as I'm doing it. Yeah. But that will allow it to pretty much be everything the cardigan's pretty much completely done besides the arms at that point.
Yeah.
It's a really cool pattern. Again, I probably will find what that pattern's name is, and I will give Mom that for the description box, and you can find it yourself. But pretty much, like I said, I started this pattern with a specific yarn, but with the wrong hook size during Christmas. So because of that, I'm still on the bends as to how I want to deal with that start and kind of stop. Right. But because I love the pattern so much, I want to still complete that cardigan. I want to do that cardigan. Right. And so what I did was I chained, and with the right size, not the same yarn, not the same stitch, but no matter what.
And the right hook this time.
But I said that.
Yeah.
But I'm just not doing the same creative, like, decorative stitch that they were doing to get a certain effect for the cardigan. Yeah. I'm just doing a plain double crochet. Or maybe it's a half double crochet. I think this is a double crochet. Yeah. I'm just doing a regular double crochet. I'm not doing anything fancy. I just want this to be a solid solid stitch cardigan. Nothing fancy about this one, because it's pretty much, its makeup is just this big long rectangle that once you configure it the right way and sew it in place the right way, it's going to be good.
See, and you do the same thing. You don't want the holes in it either. You just want solid fabric.
Right, but this is a double crochet, so it
exactly, but it still looks like it's a solid.
I'm a tight crocheter and a tight knitter, and you're a loose person, so having a smaller stitch for you would make sense, but it's coming out pretty much the same stitch between us.
Yeah, it's a solid fabric.
So pretty much right now, I'm just making that long, so here, hold this end. This is the start. Keep going, 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 and I'm still working on this end to keep it going. So I have this is how much had to be crocheted up. But again, as I was guesstimating, I still wasn't positive on the design. I didn't make enough stitches across, so pretty much, if you can see, I had to pretty much chain the ends up and start going the other direction out to make it so that this was long enough. And pretty much what I did was I figured out how much I needed. Split those amount of rows in half, and so I've already done one side with as many rows as I had to add. I'm going to do that many rows on the other side. Yeah. So that everything will still look symmetric and everything is sewed together. It will look intentional. Yeah. So, mistake averted.
You're making your own design this way.
Yes. The basis of how the cardigan's being constructed is that designer's design. Right. I'm just not doing it in the same flair or the same style. Right. With the decorative stitch and the yarn that I'm using. Right. But she still gets all the credit for how this is put together, because I would not have figured that out. This yarn, just a second, I already had it rolled into a ball, so, but here's my,
oh, yeah.
This is Pound of Love by Lion Brand, so it is actually a Lion Brand in the end, but I'm not using the same yarn that they had suggested to be used for this cardigan. Right. This is a medium weight yarn, and its color is
claret.
Excuse me. So that's what I'm doing there, and with, again, I said I would show off the colors of what I'm doing with the vest, proofreading her design, making...
yeah, you're testing it for
I'm testing it for her, kind of getting the kinks out of it. This is the cakes that she gave me to make.
Isn't it pretty?
So again, I won't show my progress, but...
but it's, color is Chimera.
Yes.
Chimera.
Chimera Lion Brand Mandela Cake Yarn.
Yeah.
So far that's really what I've been doing. In other words, in other news since last week, I have gotten that mannequin.
Yeah.
Should I get it? Should I show it off? Or
sure.
Okay. It's still in the box. which is good for us because I don't know if I could get that in the frame anyway.
Right, we're just going to show you the picture on the box. Looks like it's a Sew You dress form.
It's huge. This box is big, but it's an expandable mannequin. So,
which is wonderful.
So I'm guessing from that description that is pretty much the inside casing has springs that kind of increase or decrease to the size. So it's like it would increase.
Of the person that you're making the clothes for.
Right. It's not going to be a perfect, like, obviously not everyone's that shape.
Right.
It's a female form, but the person who bought it for me is pretty close to that shape already. She's a very fit girl. And so I will be able to do her clothes with mannequins she's provided for me to be able to do so. No matter what, it's going to work for her.
Yeah.
As I'm working and developing my skills to be able to do this, I'll have to get more mannequins. I'll have to get different shapes. I'll have to do different sizes, men, female, children.
And that's
just,
all.
you start from somewhere.
That's all expenditures as you go along.
Right. Oh.
So that works.
So besides that,
is there any other news, or should we?
Well, my husband wants us to, this room that we're in, you're coming from us from one angle. There's a lot more behind you. And
it's a sunroom. It's really nice.
And my husband has really requested me to kind of pick it up a little bit and get it really, really set as to whatever I need it to be.
Which is going to be her craft room.
It's going to be my craft room, but it doubles as my husband and I's second living room. So this room is actually off-put from our master. And so he does share it. This couch is right off from a TV that he uses for his chill time. And so I have to actually really get this place put together so that this is his chill space as well.
Right.
And he has requested that I actually start getting things put away and done so that he has a down space for himself when he needs to get away for 10 minutes. Or you know, in the evenings when if I'm crafting, he still has a place that it's like chill, like there no kid chaos in here. And so once I get it completely set up, you probably will be getting a room tour.
Oh yeah.
So
the fun part begins.
So stay tuned for that. But other than that, I really don't know if I have any updates. You know, that Mario blanket I've been making, I just have a couple. There's some things hindering my ability to continue that. I'm not going to go too deep into that, but it will be completed. Like some of the projects that I've had to put on the back burner, they are stuff that I will still get done. It's just right now there's so much going on in life that I have to do what I have in front of me at the time I have it in front of me.
Exactly, and that's what I'm doing too.
Because there are projects like that where it's like there are things that I will be planning on selling, but I don't like pulling them out to work on when my kids are sick or things like that because it feels weird. I don't like working on things that I feel like I could be passing on germs from. I like my own personal projects if I'm going to be working around my kids.
Right.
Otherwise, I would like to have like a clean space to work. I don't know if that makes sense. I don't know. It's just my thing.
My update is the pastel scrappy blanket that I made because we did not get the little girl that we thought we were going to get. It's been sitting in my room, and instead of going to her, I ended up giving it to my daughter-in-law, Maria. She's suffering with COVID right now, and she's been suffering for the last couple of weeks, and it's not going away. It's very severe. And she, her husband, my son, he finally went back to work. He had it also, but his was not severe. His was just a very mild case. He did go back to work on Monday, which this right now is Wednesday. And so he's back to work, but she, Sunday we ran over there and I gave him a couple of things. I found his baby books when I was going through my hope chest last week for the
10 things.
The 10 things about each of us, the 20 things you don't know about us. I was going through my hope chest to get some of the things out of there, and I found his baby books, and so I wanted him to have those. And I thought about that blanket, and because it's not going to be for that little girl, I didn't want it just sitting around. I wanted it to be used. I can always make another one if they do get another child. What I wanted was for Maria, my daughter-in-law, to have something to cuddle up with, to feel better with, to know it was prayed over, and that she was very thankful. When she got it, she didn't write until the next day because she had been sleeping all day. This is very much knocking her out. Either she's very nauseous and vomiting, or she's very much so tired that she's sleeping a lot of the day. And so this is something she can cuddle up with, go to sleep. While her kids are at school and her husband's at work, she can just wrap herself up and go to sleep and get well. And so I just wanted to update on that, as well as we are just so grateful that not everything with COVID has to be a negative thing. It can bring families together.
Yeah.
It can improve relationships because people come together. In their case, we had brought him the blanket and the baby books and stuff like that so that he could have something to look at. But other people were bringing them groceries. Other people were bringing them things that they needed. It was bringing people together, and it doesn't have to be a devastation all the time.
When life gets low, you see the people that care for you.
Yes.
And it really will speak to you volumes, almost the purge that will happen in your life when something bad happens. What will come out of it? What lasts? How people's reactions will have helped you or will have hindered you. I mean,
who sticks around and who doesn't?
Yeah, and I feel like COVID has made us come to realize some of the things in our life that we just don't need to have in it, or a part of it, or we thought were important and weren't, or realize how important something was to us enough that we were going to go out of our way.
Yes. To
love on somebody, or to reach someone,
yes,
or to figure out what our priorities or boundaries are depending on our scenario. And I just hope that anyone who might just need an encouraging word or some sort of affirmation, don't wait for a sign when it's already there.
Yeah.
It's obvious. Life, some people don't believe in life, everything happens for a reason, or, coincidence or whatever. Some people don't believe in fate. Some people don't believe in stuff like that. But there's something about a lesson. It will be obvious.
Priorities are different for everyone, and it's good that people are figuring them out for themselves. With that, I wanna read you a scripture that I found really is helping me lately, and that is, kind words are like honey. They cheer you up and make you feel strong. Proverbs 16:24. I think that couldn't come at a better time than right now, when people are going through such tremendous things, and we need to remember to be kind. We don't know what they're walking through.
Yep.
And everybody goes through different situations differently. We all have our different temperaments and our different styles of doing things, and we need to be kind to those around us because we just don't know what they're walking through.
Yep.
And kind words are like honey. Honey is something good that you can eat, that you can digest, that you can sweeten your food with,
And nourished by.
Yeah, and it cheers you up and makes you feel strong. And I don't think that anything could be better than that. God knows us better than anybody else, and he put that in the Bible on purpose.
Mm-hmm.
There is not one word in that Bible that isn't there on purpose to meet a need that we stand in need of.
Mm-hmm.
And so I just wanted to read that to you. Again, it's Proverbs 16:24. And I'll put it in the description box for you guys too.
Yeah, I don't have a verse for today, but it's just that message that God opens doors and he shuts doors that no man can reopen or reshut.
Yeah.
There are avenues that will be made clear. There are things that if you're going through a time of uncertainty will be made, you will know.
Yeah.
All of a sudden it's just you, it's like you wake up.
Yeah.
Trust in the process, but...
Trust in the Lord of the process.
Yes, trust in the Lord of the process, but recognize that, you know, when you also recognize your signs. Don't wait.
Yeah.
If you have the opportunity for whatever you're waiting for, don't wait.
Right.
You know, if you've been waiting for a sign or if you've been waiting for something, and if God has been telling you that this is what he plans to do, and you're just waiting for that extra reassurance, he can do it. I mean, hey, well, I guess I do have a verse, you know, with Gideon, with the whole, like, you know, Lord, if this is really you that's telling me to go against the armies, you know, I'm going to lay out this, you know, thing of fleece, and I want, you know, it to be dry despite the ground being wet around it. Goes out, it's completely dry. The ground is soaking wet.
Yeah.
And it was sitting in a puddle, but it came up super dry. Fleece doesn't do that.
No.
Then he's like, well, if it's really you that's telling me to do this, let it be the opposite. Let the ground have nothing on it. Let it be as parched as possible. And when I wake up in the morning tomorrow, it will be soaking wet.
Yeah.
That's what happened. You know, it's not that you can't ask God for a sign. It's that you have to be willing to accept whatever he says.
Yeah.
Even if it's hard.
Yeah.
Even if it's going against everything that's in you.
Yeah.
And not in the sense of like what God has given you, but sometimes our human nature can cloud his perspective. It's the whole aspect of, you know, being the reader, we see everything as it's coming to place, but but these characters have no idea how everything's coming together.
And they had to live their lives just like we're living ours.
Yeah.
We don't know from one day to the next what's going on either.
Right, but he has a bigger picture.
Yeah.
So just trust in the Lord in the process.
And for me, what's coming to me is use the good china. Every day is a special day. You don't have to worry or wait for a special day to use that china. Use it and make it a special day.
Yeah, sometimes you have to just realize that it's okay to validate.
Every day.
Every day. It's like sometimes we're waiting for that special moment, but a moment is special when you make it one.
Yes. Yes,
so
that's exactly it.
And it's okay that you just take something for yourself.
Yeah.
It just is. You don't have to feel guilty about it.
Right.
You know, some people have a hard time with this, and some other people take too much. You know, and I understand that that can be a concern. But there are days where you have to know your limitations, whether that means you give or you take.
Yeah.
So we're going to call it today. It's a shorter episode than normal, but with everything going on and just how, you know, we didn't have as much to show. We didn't have as much to talk about just because life has been really, really, really busy recently. And it's kind of been hard to sit down.
But good.
It's, yeah, busy but good. It's just, it hasn't been easy to just be able to get to sit and do stuff.
Right.
So we probably will have so much to show with you next week, and we hope to see you next week. We hope that you enjoyed this time.
Yes.
And as always, we hope that you stitch your way
to mental health.